Hello everybody, I hope they are good. What's going on with Bitcoin? Well, to be honest, not much, okay, because we're still in this kind of sideways and boring move, and not much is really going on. And that's why I didn't post any YouTube videos this week, because I'm basically sticking to my Bitcoin Sunday update. You can go to Twitter and check it out if you want. But we're going to talk about that also in a minute, okay? I wanted to post this video today because I want to remind you that today we might see some more volatility in the charts, because at 6 p.m. UTC time, that's in pretty much 3 hours and a half from here, they are going to release the FOMC Minutes. Now, the FOMC Minutes, don't get them confused with a different FOMC meeting, because it's not the same. Today, they are not going to decide whether to increase, pause, or cut interest rates. That's not what it's about today. The FOMC minutes are essentially the notes that the Fed members took in the previous FOMC meeting, so they can give us an idea of what the Fed members expect for the economy in the following months, their ideas, their concerns, and it can give us some kind of an idea. You might remember that a few months ago, in the FOMC minutes, they talked about a recession, they mentioned recession. It's true that they mentioned a mild recession, but the chart reacted to that report. Right? Now, it's true that they're talking now that there is not going to be a recession anymore, but I'm not sure, guys. I don't know what you guys think, but to me, this reminds me of 2008. They did exactly the same thing, and then you know what happened in 2008, right? So, I don't know, guys. But anyway, let's see what they say today. Don't expect, again, a new interest rate decision, because it's not going to happen today. It's only notes of the previous FOMC meeting, but still is quite valuable, because it can give you some kind of an idea of what they are talking about, what they expect, what they discuss, etc. Now, I want you to think how the FOMC minutes can impact the Bitcoin chart, the Bitcoin price action, okay? And basically, you have to think that the information that comes out in that report is important in the chart. Because if the minutes is favorable for the DXY, for the US dollar, then Bitcoin is going to go down. Now you have to think, what can they possibly say to pump the dollar and dump Bitcoin in that context? Well, for the minutes to be favorable for the US dollar, they, for example, have to mention that, yeah, it's likely that we see new interest rates, hikes, things like this. Then, if that happens, the dollar index should pump, Bitcoin should dump. Okay? And again, in the opposite direction, if they change their mind now and they mention rate cuts, by the way, I don't think this is going to happen at all, but if they mention rate cuts, the possibility of rate cuts, then I can tell you the DXY is going to go down and Bitcoin is going to go up. All right? So this is what I mean. At the moment, in this bear market where we have, inflation, we also have a strong labor market, we also have the recession around the corner, the markets are very, very data dependent, okay? And you don't know what they're going to say in the minutes, because they can say either of those things. Or maybe they say nothing, all right? We don't know. So that's what I mean. Be careful. Try to go flat into the FOMC minutes. Again, I know I always tell you, go flat into FOMC and go flat into CPI and also into non-farm payrolls, because those three things can go into any direction and you have no information about that in advance, so that would be gambling. Okay, so be very careful today at 6 p.m. UTC time. Now, what do I think Bitcoin might do in the following days and weeks? Well, we've been talking in the Sunday update about the idea of a false move right at the start of the week. That's the short-term target. That was 29,640. Okay, they hit it somewhere around here. All right. Why was I talking about this target? Well, basically because there was an open interest gap over there. Okay. In the course, I always talk about the open interest gap. I explain what it is. In Twitter, I also mention it. But basically, you have to consider that open interest gaps are imbalances in the chart. They are imbalances in the order book. So price tends to fill them. Okay, then you can see a reversal, not necessarily, but usually it's true that you see a reversal there, but they act as magnetic zones. So that's why I was thinking that, if there is an open interest gap so close from the current price, it only takes a quick spike up to fill it. You understand that? So that's what I was talking, the idea that we might see a spike up at the start of the week, fill the open interest gap, and then what happened after is going to decide where Bitcoin goes. And what I was mentioning is, if we can hit 29,640 and hold above the range lows, that's this white line over here, okay? If we could hold above it, then yes, there was going to be a possibility for Bitcoin to continue going higher and hit the mid-range, 30,500, all right? Now, if you notice, they hit 29,640, they fill the open interest gap, and then they dump price below the range lows and also below the daily 50 MA. Okay, that's the daily 50 MA in your chart now. So right now you are below two main resistances, which to me means that I cannot really favor 30,500 from here. So I'm leaning towards the possibility of going to this potential support over here. This potential support comes out from here, from this idea, all right? One hit there, two hits there. That was resistance, but we never got to test it as support, okay? So that's what I mean. That's a potential support that is not confirmed because price might just, rip to do the downside from here, okay? That's right now what I'm favoring the most. It's a drop there, but it's true that this has happened many times before. Check this out. You have here this pump and this pump, and notice how, for example, in this pump, price came lower, again below the range lows and below the 50 EMA in the daily time frame, and then it just consolidates longer, another push, more consolidation. So it's not clear and it's not definite that Bitcoin is going to dump from here straight away to 28,300. All right. Also, if you notice here, you have this, I don't want to call it a support, okay? I want to talk what happened here. In my opinion, what is going on here is that they are setting price down just to, build longs over here, okay? There you go, a push up, another push up, another one. And when this happens, this means that they are building their longs. Also notice how aggressive these moves are. To the upside, the reversal, but also to the downside. Check this out. Large red candle, large red candle, large red candle, okay? And when that happens, then you usually see a pump. So the question is this the pump? Is that the pump that we were looking for? And now it's finished, and now price is going to go down all the way here? Or is a possibility that they are still developing that move? Which means that you might see here again more reversals happening inside this box, and then you can see the real reversal to the mid-range. That's also an idea. That's why if you want to favor lower prices, you don't want to see more reversals, more bounces happening inside this box, because that could tell you that in the midterm they're actually building longs. It's not clear, okay? I don't know if this was the pump or if they are going to, bring price again to this box to continue building longs and then make a higher move. It's not clear at the moment. If I had to choose by looking at the chart, this is a very bold guess because it's based on nothing. All right, but hang on, let me get back to this. All right, but if I had to choose, because this pump over here is breaking the previous high, okay, I think that was it, in my opinion. I think that was it. So I think that this idea of coming back down all the way to 28,300, it's more likely, all right? But again, for that, first of all, is not confirmed at all, because you might still see more bounces here, and if we see that, then I'm going to start to dismiss this idea, all right? But by looking at the chart, I think that what they were preparing in this zone, it was basically this pump over here, all right? And I think that now we might see Bitcoin going lower to 28,300. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen this week or the next week. Bitcoin is at the moment in a sideways move. It's quite boring, all right? But that's the thing that you have to keep an eye on, and also, of course, in the FOMC Minutes today, because that could be a catalyst to bring price down or up either direction in a very aggressive move. I don't think that the Fed's members know that they have to be cautious and conservative with what they say, because I think that they know that inflation is going to be a problem in the second half of the year. I also posted a thread about this on Twitter, but basically the idea is that the year-over-year inflation CPI comes regarding the previous 12 months. And if you notice, June, July of last year is when CPI was coming down very sharply. From today's onwards, from this month onwards, all the CPI data, it's fighting against the previous 12 months when it was quite positive. So there is not that much room to be positive, okay? Because that was 12 months ago, that was the peak of CPI. Then it came down very aggressively. And now we're fighting against those numbers. So if you want to see inflation coming down, it's going to be regarding the previous 12 months. So that's going to be a problem for the Fed. And they know it. So I don't think that they're going to talk about interest rate cuts. I think they are still going to be, they're going to say we're data dependent. Inflation is still a problem. It hasn't reached our target of 2%. The labor market is still quite strong. So there might be new interest rate hikes. Okay, I think that's more likely to happen, and that could bring Bitcoin a bit lower. All right, so that's what you have to think, guys. Now, if we go into high block capital, we're gonna get surprised, I think. We're in high block capital, 7 days time frame. This is the surprise. Check this out. This looks like the 12 hours time frame. It's full of liquidity everywhere you look. Check this out. Well, right now you have 28,950, very close from the current price. I think it's very, very likely that we hit this zone today, because we are only a couple $100 away. So even before the FOMC minutes, or if price consolidates here, then with the FOMC minutes, they're going to take this zone. That's what I think, 28,950. But if you check to the downside, then you also have here 28,300. That's the zone that we were talking about. All right. And to the upside, you also have 29,850. Oh, yeah, I messed it up. Sorry. And I think it was 30,500. Well, 30,450. Okay, that's the mid range. So this is what I'm talking about. There is so much liquidity everywhere that we cannot favor a direction. Okay, that's what you have to be really careful. Okay, because yes, if we can see, if you remove 2 or 3 bars from here, then we can be more confident about what the direction for Bitcoin could be. All right, but having 2 yellow bars to the upside, 2 yellow bars to the downside is not clear at all. But again, I think it's more likely that we come at least today to 28,950, and either this week or next week I would like to see 28,350. But again, we'll see. So be careful, guys. I don't know if this week I'm gonna be able to post any more videos, because I got a flight for my brother to come and visit me here in Georgia, so he can have some holidays and we can spend some time together. So I don't know. Okay, he's going to be here for almost a week, and I want to spend time with him. Okay, so again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to post any videos, but I'm gonna, of course, stay active on Twitter and in Telegram, Discord. So if anything you need, you can probably find me more in Twitter this week. Alright, guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.